Voice of Indonesia.
And that was a Voice of Indonesia from Indonesia to the world. Listener, if we are talking about Bali, you might be thinking about the beach, the culture, and also, well, a lot of fun in there. And Bali is also known for its Hindu people, the Balinese Hindu. But of course, there are still Muslims friends out there who are fasting in Bali. And we have a friend from dari Denpasar, Hapsarina Tjoa, who wants to share about Ramadan in Denpasar, Bali. So, Hapsarina, how are you?
Doing great, Alhamdulillah, luar biasa, amazing.
Amazing, all right. And how is Bali so far? Is the weather supporting you to do the fasting?
So far it's hot, but thankfully I work indoors with air conditioner, so I think I'll survive.
Of course, of course. And I would like to know, in Bali itself, it's so diverse. A lot of people from other countries are there, from other cities are there. I would like to know the vibe of Ramadan in a nutshell in Denpasar that you feel.
Oh, and then Denpasar, well, actually, probably the same with the other big cities, but we cannot make it the same like other big cities because other big cities mostly Muslims. In here, the Muslim is minority, so we have a lot of adjustment, like maybe the sound of our speakers and some other activities. That's probably pretty common in Java or maybe other islands, probably in Java, yeah. But in here, we tend to be like, it's a melting pot, obviously. So we have a lot of things going on inside the Muslim itself. And when we be one of the member of the society.
Okay, as a member of society. Okay. And then I would like to know, for the Muslims to break the fast, you guys need the calling, the azan. And so we know
We
that.
do.
Yeah.
We do.
You have that in there, in Bali.
The adhan is just like a regular adhan, but probably not like in Java, like, you have a long reciting before, things like that. Maybe some mosque, but not all mosque, especially when you are like near the big road. They don't have that kind of things. But probably in secluded areas, they have those kind of things. But mostly we just like regular days of fasting in Ramadan.
Okay.
Well, my comparison is kind of hard because it's Bali.
Yeah, because when we're talking about Indonesia in general, Indonesia is the majority is Muslim, but in several places like in Bali, Muslim become minority in there. But do you find any kind of difficulties in fasting so far? I mean, by being a minority in Denpasar or in Bali?
Maybe back then because the transportation is still hard, and then let's say not much. We have a lot of people from around Indonesia in here, and also some other internationals. But as time goes by, this is the plus size of melting pot. You have everything in here. So we are blessed with a lot of kind of foods. You name it, nationally, internationally, we have it. So we are very lucky.
So, but then I'm quite curious. Is there any local traditional food that is halal, or even that is specifically related to the Muslim people and Ramadan? I mean, any special food for Ramadan?
Any special food for related like for Muslims? It depends on where it's sourced in parts of Indonesia. Like maybe you have, of course, rendang. You have other kinds of food that is from other parts of Indonesia. But in here we have sate lilit, the halal version, I mean. And then we have also jukut. Jukut is like vegetables that are also halal. And there are various kinds of halal food. And the best place and time to make sure it's halal and it's available with vast choices is Ramadan. especially the Ramadan stall.
Okay, so they still have Ramadan stalls across Bali then? How?
Not across Bali,
Not across
just
Bali.
few places. Remember, we are minority here.
All right then. So this is what makes me have a question in my mind because I am reminded that Muslim became a minority in Bali. But I saw a video about Takjil war last year. I mean, foreigners,
Actually, this year is same worst.
the same war,
Same
right?
worst.
Yeah, and foreigner also go and join the Takjil war. So it's not only about the Muslim quote unquote versus other religion in buying the food, but also it's about nationality. So is it? I mean, is the competition for buying Takjil or the food to break the fast more difficult in Denpasar?
Indeed, yes, especially in Kampung Jawa. Yeah, we call it Kampung Jawa because majority is Javanese, especially Maduranis in there. So they've been holding these takjil stalls like years, like so many years. And since the item, we call it takjil war, is available, they become like a hit, like a trend. So you can imagine like after the Ashar pray, it's the war start. And back then, probably the non-Muslim is like a little bit shy, but right now they're actually admitting and proudly admitting they're joining the war, including my coworker. Like one day before Ramadan, she's like, "I'll see you at the war." I thought she was joking. She's actually serious.
She was serious. Yeah, of course. Anyway, to put on a context for the listener who think that is a real war, Takjil war is apparently just a fun term for people about buying the food to break the fast. Usually Takjil is quote unquote exclusive, only the Muslims buying it, but since last year I the term came up because some Muslim quote unquote complain because the stall that they used to buy food, the food is gone because the non-Muslims has been purchasing all the food, something like that. But it's so fun, right? So
And in outside Bali, probably because the food is already ran out because the non-Muslim take it. But we still have the food. We still have the food, but the traffic, Lord, oh my God! You have to know that Kampung Jawa Ramadan stall is like in one small alley,
one small
and
alley.
yes, one small alley, and at the end you go to the right or to the left. The left one is additional, so you can have other options too, and the right is additional this year. Last year was closed. This year is additional. So I think next year it will be another long line. So when you go there, the like maybe 3 meters, it's still okay. It still makes sense. But you can see directly like a lot of people is flocking. And when you're there, you obviously hardly can move. So it's a war.
It's a war.
It is a war.
Well, the competition seems to be very, very tight in Denpasar.
Yeah.
And let's move on from the World War. Let's talk about the other parts of Ramadan, and maybe let's move on about the Eid al-Fitr in Denpasar. Do you celebrate it in Denpasar or in Bali, or maybe you're moving to another city to celebrate it? No?
Most people, because like I said, it's a melting pot. So most people back to their hometown.
Yeah.
But since Balinese also have, Muslim also have hometown in Bali, so they probably won't go far, either to the next city or still in the island or even still in the city because they're born there. But we usually looking for a field or a building with big field like RRI to pray for Eid al-Fitr.
Okay, so there are several places that provide the place for the prayer. But I would like to know, if we are talking about Muslim, it's not only exclusive to Indonesians, as we know that a lot of people from across the globe is visiting Bali for so many reasons, and of course, many of them are Muslims. is the mixture between Indonesian Muslim and foreigner Muslim quite apparent in there during the Ramadan and also Idul Fitri?
Oh, this is interesting because I've just joined a Muslim community last year that there are a mix of other Muslim around the world who lived in Bali and with their own probably different backgrounds and also different understandings about their own Islamic terms. So it's quite unique, but we all fasting and sometimes we break our fast together. Sometimes there's new Muslims in there. Sometimes others already like born Muslim as foreigner, I mean. So yeah, we are enjoying our Ramadan our own way.
This is an interesting point in which that Indonesia has been a melting point as a big place, but we can see Bali. Bali is well, I will not say smaller, but it's more condensed than the other parts of Indonesia. So I wish that the Ramadan will be quite easy and still fun for the people, the Muslim people in Denpasar or even in Bali in general. Okay, thank you very much.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
One more thing I would like to point.
Yeah.
It is going to be fun because of course, we have pecalang in Bali.
Yeah.
So pecalang is the one who will responsible for guarding us for our religious activities. So let's say praying for Jum'ah prayer, we have pecalang. Make sure we are safe because the guys like literally praying in the side of the road. So if not careful, someone might get hit. But thankfully, we have pecalang. So I'm sure in Idul Fitri and Ramadan also our parking area is safe. Our praying is going to be safe and everything gonna be safe. Thank you to pecalang.
Yeah, and to add the context, the pecalang is not a Muslim, right?
Yes, they are Hindus. They are the traditional local security.
And of course, they still see our Muslim friends as a part of Bali too. So there is no discrimination. There is a big love in this beautiful melting pot called Bali. Okay, thank you very much, Hapsarina, for joining us in sharing about Ramadan in Denpasar. And listener, that's a little bit story about having Ramadan in Denpasar. And of course, if you went to Bali, you might want to go to Kampung Jawa, especially during Ramadan, and also find other places to enjoy Ramadan and Idul Fitri, and there to enjoy once again the great melting pot called Bali. And listener, you can listen again to this talk on our YouTube channel, VOI Official.
Voice of Indonesia.